I, 30M, have made a serious mistake. I got myself into a relationship with a single mom, 27F, and I completely regret it because I don't want to be around her kid but feel bad about leading her on for 2 years. Posted by you/throwers1k. I started this relationship 2 years ago when I was 28. Due to the 1-hour drive, we only see each other on the weekends. She has her son Monday through Friday, and on the weekends, his dad gets him. He's 7 years old. I really only see him on Sunday nights when he gets dropped off. I was always nice to her son. I would play Minecraft and take him out, even went on vacation with her and him a couple of times. But I'm not going to lie, I never loved the idea of dealing with him. Despite my attempts at treating him like my own, he has proven time and time again that he's just a difficult kid to deal with. I want to keep this post short, so I'll spare the details. But the problem is that recently he's been with us every weekend, and I'm starting to get a clearer view of my future with her and her son. I have zero time to myself, there's no segs, haven't had it in over a month, and I find myself hiding in the bathroom just to get a moment's peace. I no longer look forward to my weekends. I actually look forward to Monday because at least after work, I have a few hours to myself for some peace. I'm starting to realize what my future is looking like, and it horrifies me. I tried having a conversation with my girl about it a few times, but it always seems to lead to an argument. It's like I have all the responsibilities of a parent but none of the authority. I really love my girlfriend, and we have such a good relationship outside of her son, but now I think it's time for me to end it. I just feel completely awful about the whole thing because I knew she was a single mother before I got into this relationship, but I kept ignoring red flags and kept telling myself it would get better. But it hasn't, it just kept getting worse. I feel like I wasted both of our time, but I'm just having trouble letting go. Every time I think about ending it, I get scared that I'll miss her too much. But deep down, I know that I have too. Any advice? Has anyone else gone through this before? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Listen, if you feel like that, get out. Save yourself. Move on. It will sting, but ultimately, you will be happier. As a step-parent myself to a very difficult child, it never gets easier. There is literally no happiness in our home anymore, and I have 3 of my own kids who are miserable as well. I wish I had not ignored some red flags. You cannot love someone through these kinds of situations. Ops response. Thanks, I've already started speaking to a therapist and am working on getting out for good real soon. She and I actually just started a break because of all the stress I've been feeling from the relationship. I don't see much value in a sexless relationship with a mom that I have to help raise her kid, and I have to lose all my free time too. I just hate feeling like the bad guy, but I guess I just have to accept that and move on. Commenter 2. I'm writing this as a single parent. You aren't doing anything wrong by leaving the relationship. Here's the thing, my child always comes first. That's my job as a parent. If the person I was dating felt the way you do, which are valid feelings, it may sting when they ended things, but I would respect it because I want my child to see a healthy relationship. I would never expect a step-parent to 100% treat my child as their own, although that would be amazing. You're right, it's hard and it doesn't tend to get easier, it just changes. I also retreat to another room from time to time just to get a few minutes of silence. It's normal. All 3 of you deserve a functioning relationship without resentments. If this relationship isn't working for you, you're all better off without it. Dating a single parent can be very tough. Op adds an edit to his post. Thanks, everyone, I appreciate all the comments. I just wanted to clarify that the red flags were not her being a mother. Although her parenting style isn't one I endorse completely, so I guess that could be a red flag. But I'm just saying I ignored the red flags that involved other aspects of single motherhood that are not exactly her fault. For example, her son's father is a deadbeat and doesn't support their son financially at all, so I know that burden would fall on my shoulders completely if we were to stay together. Something I really didn't consider going into it. Should have been obvious, I know, but we all make mistakes. I have nothing but love for her and will make an update post once I have the conversation with her. Very soon. Update 3 weeks later. Long story short, I told her I was unhappy. I asked if I could have some time to myself, maybe 1 weekend a month I could stay home. She said no. It's all or nothing with us. I offered her couples therapy and even told her I'd pay for the entire thing. She refused, saying she already has enough therapy. I told her then we need to end it. It was an awful conversation with tons of crying until she just hung up on me. A little backstory, she's been through terrible trauma in her life, and I was worried she might not be okay because she's still dealing with some of it. Anyway, I was worried about her, but she refused to talk to me, wouldn't answer calls or texts. I figured it was just over now and I needed to leave her alone. The next morning, I got a text from her asking me to come get my stuff I had left there. I told her to just throw it all out. The stuff wasn't worth me going over there because it would be too hard to see her now. She basically said, please just come get your stuff. I don't want to look at it anymore either. And she said this would be the last time we'd see each other, so let's say goodbye. I agreed and drove over there. When I got there, I was met with a pile of my stuff. I started taking trips, bringing it down to my car. When I went to get the last of my things, I saw her sitting on the kitchen floor crying. I sat next to her for a while without saying anything. She kind of moved a few inches away from me. I looked at her and said, "I should probably go, huh?" She nodded her head. I got up, and as I was leaving, I said to her, "I just wish you didn't think I was a horrible person." She started yelling from the floor about how she did nothing wrong and whatnot. I couldn't take the yelling, I said goodbye and left. As I was walking down the hallway, I was haunted by the sound of her crying so loudly I could hear it clearly. As I left her building and got into my car, she called me. She was upset that I didn't want to talk, but I explained to her there wasn't anything left to talk about. She kept going on and on about how awful I was and how I wasn't doing the right thing, etc., and she refused to take any blame. At this point, I was already on the highway, about 15 minutes away from her apartment, when she asked me to come back inside to talk. I told her no, I was already leaving. She started crying and begging me to turn around and talk. I said, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry," and I hung up the phone, first time I've ever done that to her, though she's hung up on me over a dozen times. She immediately started blowing up my phone. I couldn't deal with it, I was losing my mind, so I just turned the phone off. I left it off for a day, and when I turned it on, I saw a few short texts and missed calls. I immediately just went ahead and blocked her. I don't know if I did the right thing. I feel so damn terrible about this whole thing. I want to be there for her, hearing her cry killed me inside. But I know being there for her will just rope me back into the relationship I no longer want to be in. Even though I still love her, in fact, I'm still in love with her, it's too much. I know I won't be happy. She wrote me 2 emails since she figured out she was blocked. I haven't read them yet. I can see they're addressed in letter format, but I don't have the strength to read them at this time. This whole thing sucks. Hopefully, this doesn't get automatically taken down. Anyway, thanks, everyone, and if you have advice on how to get through this, that would be very helpful. Thanks. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. So she didn't want to give you a weekend off and instead she gave you a lifetime off. Honestly, I could see why she would feel like she wants all or nothing from you. But she has a child that isn't yours, she should have the skills to rationalize why you would want a weekend off sometimes. I've never dated a girl with a kid, so I can't relate too heavily, but it seems, just from this here, that you were empathetic and rational, and you gave her every chance to have a real conversation, and she was just emotionally distraught the entire time. I think, after all of that, blocking and moving on completely is probably a decent choice. Leaving wiggle room for conversation won't be healthy for either of you. Op adds an edit to his post. I never thought this would get so much attention. This has been the most difficult thing I've dealt with in my life, so thank you all so much for the kind words, they have helped tremendously. Last night, I ended up reading the letter she sent me, before I looked at this post again. The first letter was super apologetic, it actually made me tear up. It was very sweet, and it made things really difficult. Then I read the second letter, which was sent 12 hours after the first one, and it was more about blame, she was venting about all the things I did wrong, etc. In retrospect, I probably shouldn't have read either of the letters, but the first one reminded me of the good times, and then the second one reminded me why I broke up with her in the first place. So, I'm actually glad she wrote the second one, because if it had just been the first, who knows what I'd be feeling right now. Anyway, I'm going to continue to be strong and block her through any other methods she tries to contact me with. She even started calling me from her work phone number. I didn't answer, but I googled it and confirmed it was her. I blocked that number as well. Second update 1 week later. Just got out of a 2.5-year relationship, my ex is a 27F, and I'm a 30M. I broke up with her because I wanted some more time to myself. I felt the dynamic between her and my life was not very fulfilling for me, spending all my time with her doing what she wants, etc. Plus, the lack of sex, we were only having sex maybe once a week at most, but in the last 3 to 4 months we were together, that dropped to once every other week and then eventually once a month. She's a single mother, so trying to become a step-parent has been very difficult and was the leading factor in our breakup. Anyway, we had a tough breakup, and immediately after, I felt great, I was finally free. But now that it's been a week, I'm struggling a lot. I've been crying every single day, including having a complete breakdown last night. I feel so much regret about my decision, I miss her so damn much. I've talked to my therapist, I've talked to my family, I've talked to my friends. None of that has really helped. I miss talking with her on the phone or seeing her smile. During the breakup, I was so focused on all the bad that I forgot about the good we had. Now that she's gone, it's reversed. I've tried thinking about the bad, and I understand we cannot be together again, but I am fighting the urge every minute not to pick up my phone and call her, or text her, or just drive over there and beg for forgiveness. I feel like I'm at complete rock bottom here. I think about dating again, In the future, not now, and I just don't find any interest in any other person. It just makes me miss her even more, thinking about being with someone else. Because what if they don't do what she did? What if they don't have such a sweet laugh or aren't as fun to be around? So much confusion in my brain. I'll remain strong and not contact her, but I'm here to admit it is absolutely tearing me up inside. Thanks for reading about my troubles. Third update 2 months later. I wanted to make a post in hopes that it will help more people. You can check out my post history and see my problems with my ex, the eventual breakup, and even the period where I felt like I wanted her back. She was a single mom, and it was really difficult to get over her in more ways than I was prepared for. So I wanted to use this as a bit of an update on how I got over her, and what exactly happened post-breakup. She reached out. If you want the backstory, read my post history. If not, long story short, I'm a 30M and dated a 27F single mother to a 7-year-old boy for 2.5 years. We were sort of long distance, an hour drive, and saw each other on the weekends for the most part. After the breakup, I felt free of all the nonsense associated with her. I finally had my own free time. However, shortly after, maybe a week, I started to miss her. A lot. I thought about her all the time. The last time I saw her, she was sitting on her kitchen floor bawling her eyes out. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that image. I heard her screams and cries. It broke me. I wanted to reach out to her so badly. Eventually, I did message her and ask if I could write her son a goodbye letter because I never had the chance to say goodbye to him. I was actually surprised by how much I missed him. He and I had our issues, but I did have a connection with him, and it was sad to think I'd never see how he grew up. Anyway, the letter was sent, she received it, and thanked me for it. Everything was pretty cordial. No contact continued. About 6 weeks later, I was still missing her. Still had moments where I broke down in tears by myself. I remember going down into my home workout room and just started doing deadlifts until I couldn't physically pick up the bar anymore, and I just collapsed to my knees crying hysterically. This was at 1 in the morning on a work night. I was a mess. I wrote her a letter after that, basically saying everything I wanted to say. I wanted her back, I was going to fix everything, etc., etc. I never sent the letter. I was serious about no contact. I was going to be strong. Writing the letters and deleting them became a kind of therapy for me. Then, about 3 days after writing that letter, guess what? She called me. I didn't recognize the number at first because I had deleted and blocked her. I don't know if her number didn't get blocked correctly or if it was a different number, I never asked. But I answered, and it was her. She started off with, "Oh hey. How are you? I know we haven't talked in a while, but I just left the Toyota dealer and they failed my car because of the tint you had put on it. Can I borrow you for a moment to help me out?" My heart started racing. I wanted to see her. So badly. I wanted nothing more than to be with her again. But I knew I had to talk first. I told her I would help her, but I wanted to talk first. So we talked. I began saying all the things I wanted to say. I told her how I was struggling, how I missed her, and was just completely honest about everything going on in my mind. I told her about therapy, journaling, everything. But when I asked how she was doing, that's when the truth began to pour out. She told me she was doing well. She said she was regressing, her word, going out, partying, drinking, hanging with friends. She even made it a point to let me know that the next night she was going out with friends in the city and buying a new dress for it. She sounded like a bimbo on the phone, calling me things like love and sweetie. Just cringe level stuff. I asked her if she missed me. She said she did, but that she was doing well. Told me therapy had been focusing on her own trauma and that she doesn't really think about me or dream about me, or I guess, really care about me at all. I asked about her son, because at that point, I was more interested in him. She told me he saved the letter and still asks about me. She said he misses me a lot. I could tell he missed me more than she did. I ended the call with, "I'd love to help you, but I can't. Here's the name of a shop I know that'll pass your car with the tint, tell them you know me and they'll take care of you." She thanked me, and we hung up. After the call, I just stared at my wall for a good 5 minutes. My mind was totally messed up by what had just happened. I was so sad at first, and angry. How could she move on so easily? How could she not be in any pain? While I'm sitting here totally devastated by the breakup, she's doing well? But that anger and sadness soon turned into appreciation and relief. Oh my God, she's not my problem anymore. She's doing these things that would have haunted me at night, but she's not my woman anymore. The girl I was in love with, the girl I thought about every time I closed my eyes, she doesn't exist. I know that sounds crazy, but she doesn't exist. The girl I kept thinking about has been replaced by this other person who looks and sounds like her, but she isn't her. That realization helped me out tremendously. Suddenly, I realized I'd been trapped in a mental prison. I thought she put me there, but she didn't. I did. I know this is a bit off topic, but I watched The Matrix, the original, for the first time in my life. I know, and I started to see similarities in how we perceive our realities. I know it's a tangent, but it helped me to believe that I needed to see the truth. The truth is, there is no girl, there is no spoon. I know that last bit is a little weird, but it helped me, okay? Point is, she isn't the person I built in my head. Like Jocko said in his breakup video, you build this person up who doesn't even exist. Bill Burr also said in a podcast that around the 6-week mark, they always reach out. He was right. Final update, this all happened about 3 weeks ago, and I've never felt better since. I am so at peace with everything. Sure, I still miss her from time to time, and I definitely miss her son, too. But I'm happy again, finally. I freed myself from the prison I was in. I kept hoping she could free me, but she couldn't. I had to free myself. 2 nights ago, I got a random text from her cousin, 21F. She told me she heard about the breakup and wasn't sure if she should say anything, but she said she and I had a good relationship. We used to joke around whenever she visited. She told me she'd really miss me and even said she doesn't believe my ex will ever replace me. Her whole family loved me, and it shows. Anyway, I know this post is long, but I'm doing great right now. I'm actually going to start dating again soon, and I've been doing really well. Here are some things that really helped me get over her, besides that phone call. What helped me? Journaling. Write all your feelings down. Every time you want to reach out to your ex, write it down and wait a day. You must wait 24 hours. You'll feel different, I promise, and you won't send that message. Exercise. I worked out every single day. I always worked out, even during the relationship, so this helped, but it wasn't enough on its own. Could be different if you're just starting. Projects and goals. I've been fixing up a car, and working on it helped a lot. I'd listen to podcasts or music while turning wrenches, it really helped. Pretend you're better. Just like how faking confidence can lead to real confidence, faking being better after a breakup can actually lead to feeling better. This helped in the later stages. Cry it out, seriously. Have a good cry. Cry everything out. Do it in private. No one can judge you, and it's better for your health. And that's pretty much it. I hope this helps some of you. I still miss my ex from time to time, but overall I'm in a very good place. I know what it's like to be in the dark, to feel hopeless. I've been there. It will get better. But you have to put in the work. Good luck, everyone. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. What a jerk. You broke up with her, you don't get to judge her for not staying broken up over you as long as you did for her. You are self-centered and selfish. Op makes another post 3 days later talking about how badly he wanted to break no contact but stayed strong and committed to maintaining it and how glad he is for sticking to his resolve. Commenter. I am not trying to badmouth you or anything, but I thought that the last post you made was about you moving on and getting over her. This post makes me feel as if you are still stuck in that mental prison. I'm sorry if this comes off as rude. Commenter 2. Leave her alone. You already broke up with her, all you'll do is make things worse. You stopped caring about her, so stop pretending you still do. Commenter 3. Damn, every post was just all about me, and me. Maybe you were also the problem? This is coming from a guy.